Hello, students. So today we are going to discuss the historical perspective of nursing. If you would realize, nursing today has been very different from how people viewed nursing practically centuries ago. And at the onset of technological advancement and our professional movement, we expect changes to be happening constantly, specifically at this point in time. To understand how come we practice nursing the way it is today, it is important for us to not only understand our past, nursing locally and globally, but it is also important for us to comprehend our current or contemporary nursing practice and what are the different sociological and historical factors that affected it and are continuously affecting our nursing practice. Many years had passed that there had been a lot of dramatic changes. The way society looked at us nurses and nursing as a whole. At the beginning, we would realize that nursing wasn't really a respectable, honorable profession. But as time went by, we would see that there had been a lot of development going on with regards to our professional autonomy, with regards to the standards of our profession. And in recent years, a renewed interest in our history has been growing. And for now, it is easy to find a lot of literatures about our history. And as I have said a while ago, we continue to expect changes to happen, right? And so, right now, we would like to understand and realize what happened to our current profession so that we'll be able to think about how we can contribute to the elevation of our nursing practice in the eyes of the society and as our not only professional obligation but as well as our social obligation as nurses. For years, if you would be able to recall, traditionally, female roles as a wife, as a mother, a daughter, and a sister had always included the care and nurturing of our family members and could be extended to the community also. We women are given the responsibility to take care of children, to take care of infants, and basically, nursing was looked up years before as something that has taken its roots in the home. We have this phrase of when we see breastfeeding women, we would see that they are nursing their babies, right? As well as these roles gave women a lower or a dependent role in the society, as we are often called to just continue our job in the home or take care of others who are generally ill. At this point, a woman's role as a nurse is looked up as something as related to providing physical comfort and assistance when it comes to a member of our family having physical difficulty or being ill. Thus, our traditional nursing role has always been looked at as something as humanistic, caring, nurturing, comforting, and supporting. Then we have religion. Religion likewise played a significant role in how nursing developed through the years. We all know that most of the world's religion calls for benevolence. However, it was the Christian value of love thy neighbor as thyself, as also the reflected in the parable of Christ, that of the Good Samaritan, which provided us a significant impact most specifically in the development of nursing in the West. And during the third and fourth centuries, we have Fabiola, who was a member of a wealthy Roman family who converted to Christianity and used um, their wealth to provide houses to the homeless. We also have the Crusaders. Now, this is a group of Christian warriors who saw the formation of several orders of knights. We have the Knights of St. John of Jerusalem, the Teutonic Knights, the Knights of St. Lazarus. And these crusaders or soldiers provided nursing care to their sick and injured companions during the war. They also took upon themselves to build hospitals and organizations and management, which started the standard of hospital administration throughout Europe at that time. The Knight of St. Lazarus also dedicated themselves to the care of people with communicable diseases such as leprosy, syphilis, and other chronic skin conditions. And then we have the Election Brothers, who organized caring for the victims of the Black Plague in the 14th century in Germany. And they followed the same traditions, such as women's religion and nursing orders. And they also established hospitals and provided nursing care. The other groups also followed suit. However, these nursing providers would occasionally be gone and resurface throughout the century. And it was in 1836 when Theodore Fliedner reinstituted the order of deaconesses and opened a small hospital and a training school in Germany. And it was here in this hospital and training school that Florence Nightingale received her quote unquote training in nursing. At this point, many would would become nurses because it is their calling, and they would feel like they don't really need or they don't expect economic gain. And so this mindset or attitude toward service as nurses was somehow exploited and provided nurses very less monetary rewards. And then we have the war. Okay, throughout history, we see wars resulted in a lot of injured soldiers and civilians, which resulted or provided the need for nurses to take care of these injured or sick individuals. And in the Crimean War, where people saw how negligent or how neglected soldiers or injured soldiers were. We saw the role of Florence Nightingale as she addressed this problem, right? During that time, she was asked by Sir Sidney Herbert of the British War Department to also recruit other female nurses so that there would be additional workforce to care for the injured in Crimea. So at this time, Nightingale led her fellow nurses and transformed military hospitals by seeing to it they set up sanitation practices, which included hand washing, seeing to it that the environment is clean, washing the clothing regularly. And Nightingale is credited for performing such a wonderful role at this time. She was credited to be the leader to reduce the mortality rate of during that time among the injured soldiers. And then we have the American Civil War, wherein nurses were there to provide care as well during this wartime. We have Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth, who not only provided safety to the slaves, they also provided care to the injured. And we have Mother Baker Dyke and Clara Barton, who as well provided care to injured soldiers. So we see how nurses played a role in this time of war. We have Dorothea Dix, who is a female leader who provided nursing care during the Civil War. She became the Union Superintendent of Female Nurses, as she was responsible for recruiting nurses and supervising nursing care of all women nurses working in military hospitals. And so we can see that it is at this time that nurses were looked up as a very important component during this time of strife. So as time went by, nursing being a profession or not even a profession, something that women do, but it has no organization, no formal education, and a low social status. However, still the role of the women was looked or considered as something that is in the home, and that at the time no respectable woman would desire to be a nurse, because in Europe the role of Victorian middle class women was to be a wife, to take care of her husband, to be a mother to her children, and most of the training and education that she would get during her lifetime was to help her be a better wife to her husband and to be a more responsible mother to her children. At this point, nurses in hospitals were poorly educated, and some were even called out, or criminals called out from prison cells to take care of the sick. So at this time, uh, people looked down at nurses because most of them were just criminals pulled out from prison to take care of the sick in the hospital. And we have stories like this about nurses, like we have the writings of Charles Dickens in his book Martin Chuzzlewit, wherein there was a character named Sari Gam, where she took care of the sick by neglecting them. She was a nurse who neglected her patients, stole from them, and sometimes physically abused them. So, this kind of portrayal of nurses provided a very negative influence and image and attitude toward nurses during this time. However, because of what Florence Nightingale did during the Crimean War, there was a sense of respectability that was provided to the nursing profession. At that point, nurses were started to be viewed as noble persons, heroine, like very brave, and like how they contributed in the fight towards communicable diseases like leprosy, tuberculosis, poliomyelitis. And yeah, from that time, a very negative image of nurses. And then we have um, something of a positive insight for nurses when it was Nightingale's time that people saw the other side of the nursing profession. And so from that time on, the nursing profession had improved a lot, especially on how they would like society to look at them. And so we have different organizations of nurses who ensure to improve the image of nursing. So we have campaigns to give nursing a very positive career option for the society. So nursing then become like a profession that is very altruistic, although very challenging, and that it provides something like an encouragement that, hey, slowly but slowly, you can, or people can be nurses at the same time, be a respectable member of the society. And so from Florence Nightingale, we had a lot, no, a lot of nursing leaders sprouting up. We have Clara Barton, Linda Richards, Mary Mahoney, Lillian Ward, and so on and so forth. So their notable contribution to our history and to the women's history in general provided nursing uh, a more positive picture towards the society, as well as their nursing care, how they influence other nurses, provided a change that became models for the succeeding generation of nurses. Okay, and so yeah, we have Florence Nightingale as one of our leaders. So we have, I think, Florence Nightingale's time started the documentation of how nursing became a profession. Her achievement during the Crimean War earned her the title the Lady with the Lamp, because she would go on rounds around the barracks taking care of sick soldiers, bringing her lamp, because at that time there wasn't any electricity yet. She spearheaded reforms in hospitals, implementing policies specifically on environmental sanitation, which made her an accomplished political nurse. She was the first nurse to exert political pressure on the government. Her her findings, her documentations of what happened before and after due to her research and analysis. She was even referred to as the first nurse researcher. So she used her records to prove her interventions that yeah, this should be done because this resulted to reduced mortality among injured soldiers during the Crimean War. And so Nightingale's vision of nursing started a change in how society viewed nursing and nurses. So it was Florence Nightingale who started it, and she believed in personalized and holistic client care. Her vision included public health and health promotion roles for nurses. So Linda Richards was the one who was considered as the first America's first trained nurse. She graduated from the New England Hospital for Women and Children in 1873. She was known for introducing nurses' notes and doctors' notes. She initiated the practice of wearing nurses' uniform. Okay, so she encouraged that nurses should wear a uniform. She was also credited for her pioneering work in the fields of psychiatric and industrial nursing. And in the Philippines, we also have our history of nursing here. So let's watch this video. Let's end our discussion on nursing history by this quotes from special persons. We have Robert Penn Warren, who said that history cannot give us a program for the future, but it can give us a fuller understanding of ourselves and of our common humanity so that we can better face the future. And Florence Nightingale also said that were there none who were discontented with what they have, the world would never reach anything better. Thank you.